Good evening, YouTubers. This is your zip code freak, Matt Shiny here in the 92805 zip code in Southern California, the ZCF Studios. Excuse me, on this Monday, June the 8th in the evening. And we're doing an overview on the next state we're going to be discussing, Pennsylvania. Anything with zip codes starting with 150 through 196 is in the state of Pennsylvania. There are over 2,200 zip codes total in the state of Pennsylvania. Demographic zip codes, which are the ones we talk about here, where people actually live as opposed to businesses or post offices or institutions, account for 1,812 of those. There's a lot of them. State is started out life as a colony, founded in 1681. Before that, Sweden had the southeastern corner of Philadelphia now is and called it New Sweden, but then the British got in there and eventually took over. William Penn named it after his father, William Penn, the Admiral. Pennsylvania. Sylvania is Latin for woodland, and it's very applicable because the state is still 58% forested. And there are stories of when the area was first made a colony, a squirrel could cross from end to end without having to come down from the trees. And I know my little guys that are here, that guard the apartment all day are like looking at me like, grinning like idiots right now to hear about their relatives. Anyway, Pennsylvania eventually became a state in 1787, December 12th, the second state. It spans from Philadelphia and the Delaware River estuary in the southeast all the way to Lake Erie in the northwest, from the Ohio River in the southwest, all the way to the Poconos and the Allegheny Mountains in the northeast, and the Appalachians running southwest and northeast throughout the state. About 46,054 square miles total. 44,744 of that is land. It is 32nd in land area, 5th in population after California, Texas, Florida, and New York, and it's 9th in population density with over 13 million people living here. It's still a pretty big deal as a state, even though a lot of people don't think about it. 67 counties, and the latest figures I could find for the gross state product have Pennsylvania producing $1 trillion a year, goods and services. That's on par with taking Denmark and Norway and combining them. So while it's not as big as, say, California's or some of the larger countries, it is bigger than probably anything you're going to find in the developing world, except for India. So a $1 trillion economy here in Pennsylvania, and it's too numerous. There's so many different things they do here. Everything from agriculture to biotechnology to timber. There used to be more steel and coal and stuff. Not so much of that these days. And manufacturers, a lot of that's gone overseas, but they're adapting. The cities are Philly, the largest city, has its things that it does, banking especially. Pittsburgh, the second largest city in metro area, has the things that it does. And then I think they're trying to become more into the tech services and such. Harrisburg's the capital, so you have government. And all these areas have fairly large hinterlands. Besides Philly, you have Delaware and Bucks counties, and then Pittsburgh, you have other counties going to the Ohio state line. And there's just, they do, I forgot, they even do oil. They do petroleum. Sorry, there goes my deal there. They do oil. And I hit the table and my phone decided it wanted to say something there. Excuse that. Quaker State, you remember growing up and having them advertise? Pennzoil, right? So they're still a big deal. They did lose a little population for the last census, but 13 million people plus is nothing to sneeze at. We will be doing a number of zip codes. We'll be spending a little bit of time in this state because of its populousness, and so to speak. And I've actually been here personally a couple times. Been to Philadelphia, been to the Pennsylvania Dutch country on April 1st, 1985, and was surprised with a dusting of snow. That can happen here. Most of the state, it has continental climate. The Philadelphia and Pittsburgh corners and Erie have humid subtropical and or an oceanic climate depending upon the elevation. Oceanic doesn't have anything to do with position by the ocean so much as it has to do with the temperature differences that you would normally find at an ocean shore, but in some other areas are due to latitude or altitude. A lot of the state, as I said, is continental, hot summer, and then warm summer because the elevation, also where it is, high 30s, low 40s for latitude. Anyway, Pennsylvania, so let's buckle up and we'll have a good time. If you like, hit like. If you don't, hit don't. Throw some digital nuts at me. Thank you, squirrels. And we'll see you in the next video.